From the big screen to the small. It's Geek Week, the podcast of the year. Join the fun with laughter and cheer. Toys collecting and tales from the past. Tune in now, the good times will last.
We dive into movies that make us dream, with memories like a childhood theme. TV shows that caught our eyes, let's collect the moments and rise.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out. It's Geek Week, the podcast of the year. Join the fun with laughter and cheer. Toys collecting and tales from the past. Tune in now, the good times will last.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out.
Whoa, hello, welcome to Geek Week, episode 180, Sorrell.
180.
Madness. With me, Jacob's Toys, and of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell. If you're watching live, do join in. See a couple of people in the comments already. Join in with the chat. It's going to be a fun one tonight. And if you're watching us on catch up, Mr. Sorrell, what is it they need to put in the comments?
Hashtag catch up crew.
There we go. I like how we're doing this now. Like we're down with the kids. Like, is this still relevant? I don't know. We've got a special guest this week. I think we should waste no time bringing him in because he's a friend of the show. He's been in a few times now, quite often with his podcast partner. That sounds good, don't it, James? But this time we've just got him on his own. It, of course, is Triple G Comics.
Hello.
How you doing? Good to see you, man. You good?
That's a funky new intro. I'm liking that. Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Well, we kind of like we were very 80s inspired last time, and then we kind of brought it into the 90s a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? You well?
Not bad, man.
That's
Not
very
bad.
good.
How about yourself?
Yes, very good. Very good. Getting all geared up, ready for Crimbo. So yeah, not bad.
I know. 1st of December. We went out today. Saw Moana 2 in the cinema.
All right.
Family trip. Did you go and see it? Have you seen it yet, Sorrel?
No, but I've heard bad things. But I've just been walking around the house singing Wicked for the past week. So I mean,
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen Wicked.
We saw Wicked last week. But no, we went Moana 2 today. It's actually good. I enjoyed it. And then we went Christmas shopping, and there was all the stuff in the shops and the lights and everything. It felt very Christmassy. Very Christmassy.
I saw. I went to see Gladiator 2 last night. You guys seen that yet?
no, any good?
Ooh, it's rogue.
No.
It's rogue. I was saying to my mates when I came out, I just felt nothing for anybody in it. There was no connection for us with anything for some reason. Denzel's very good, but apart from that, not.
Gladiator falls into that category of movie for me that the first one is so iconic and so kind of, you remember where you were when you watched Gladiator kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. There's too many sequels to things at the minute. I don't. Yeah.
This one certainly wasn't needed, and it's very similar to the original. Really, there's bits that are just mental. My grump all the time, guys, is bad CGI. I just can't get away with bad CGI these days.
Yeah,
and there's some baboons in this that are just atrocious, absolutely atrocious. Yeah, sharks as well in the arena.
What?
Yeah. It takes a turn.
When a franchise is failing,
where they put an aquarium in. Do you not remember that?
Yeah.
When a franchise fails when they include a shark, right? That's what I'm saying. If there's a shark included, it's kind of they're running out of ideas, aren't they?
No, they're running out of ideas when they consider a crossover for the next film, Gladiator versus Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Fast, Furious, and Rome. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd watch it. Yeah.
You're right. Carts, like carts, horse and carts.
Horse and carts. Yeah, if Vin Diesel goes back in time to the Roman era for the family.
Speaking of cars, did you see the HasLab funded?
Yeah, fully funded.
Yeah. Are you in on it?
No.
No.
No, I'm not.
Am I the only one that's like well up for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do
That was
Haslam's.
short,
I
sweet.
just
That was
don't
a
do
short,
Haslam's
sweet,
though.
short and sweet conversation. It's not massively like overdone though. So it's still got like I think a day on it. About a day left. And let me check the stats. Yes, they needed 12,000 backers, and there are only 674 people over that threshold. So I really thought that, having seen it at MTM, I really thought it was gonna like rocket forward, but they're just creeping over that line. But either way, it's fully funded. So
if we're talking, sorry,
go on.
because if we're talking toys, I am positively aroused to say that I've got a notification from Mondo saying that my Lion-O is on its way. So I cannot wait for that 6 scale Lion-O figure. It looks
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah,
that is awesome. You picked up the Ghost Rider, didn't you?
I did. I love it. I picked up the Ripley as well, but the Ghost Rider is really good. Yeah.
I think it's incredible. Mine's
very cool. The light up effect's better than I expected as well.
I know. And the likeness on not Nicolas Cage, but for something that's not supposed, like it's not him.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not bad.
But I tell you what, the third party kind of head sculpt people and stuff like that on the 1/6 scale are out of this world.
Yeah.
I just picked up a couple. I'm just going to show you now because it's right next to me. And I thought, why not? Well, I picked up a couple, and these are not official Hot Toys or anything like that. But look at this. Look. What is that?
That's very good.
It's Heath Ledger's Joker. And I've got my Spider-Man, and I was like, I need the head sculpts for the original ones because I've got like the Tobey Maguire and I've got the Andrew Garfield, but without head sculpts. Look at that.
Oh, that's good. That is very good.
That is good.
It's spot on, isn't it? Like absolutely spot on. So that's Toby. That's Toby. I was a bit gutted because they didn't do like the emo Toby, and I was like,
nobody wants the emo Toby, surely.
And then look,
that's good as well.
Yeah. Like they will go well with my Hot Toys. Tom Holland. So yeah, I was well chuffed with those. Well chuffed.
Very good.
They're actually better than the.
Yeah. I got a couple of years back. I got I don't do names, guys, so I'll not be able to say his surname. The guy who plays Punisher in the Netflix stuff, is it Bethanel?
John Bethanel. Yeah.
I got a third party head sculpt of him for my Punisher. Because I got the Sideshow Punisher, and it's got this weird kind of old man looking head sculpt on it. So I swapped it out with that one, and it looks great. Looks really good.
Yeah, I got which figure did I get? I think it's like he's somewhere. Oh, he's on the corner there. But he's called like Punish Man. I think it might be preset as well. But the head sculpt on it is phenomenal. Like absolutely phenomenal. But yeah. Jack Addison in the comments said, I'm glad that the HasLab is funded, but it will be bittersweet when it gets billed on Tuesday. Yes, that's it. John Hood said, Gladiator is jumping the shark. Very good reference there. Bethany said, did you know that Free Willy movie just turned 30?
Wow. I'm about to say, because when you guys were talking then, I saw that comment, and in my head for the last 5 minutes, all I've been doing is, slowly as the river Jordan.
Do whales live that long? Do killer whales live 30 years? I don't know what the lifespan is on a killer whale.
I don't know.
Pretty long.
Like, would they be able to roll him out for the sequel? Like the full flight? That's what I'm thinking. Bethany Beth said, right, I've seen the intro, bile. There we go. just here for the intro. A couple of other people in the chat there. You got Andy Roberts saying Triple G in the house. Good stuff. Triple G's in the comments there. Joshy Boy Toys. Thomas the Tank fan. Love that. Thomas the Tank fan. I'm a big fan of Thomas the Tank. I'm not going to lie. Actually, I'll tell you what. Talk about retro toys. One of my memories was my parents split up when I was younger, and one of my fondest memories was like my dad had like the Thomas the Tank Engine like toys and stuff, and he passed away a few years back, and my cousins had like a box from him and stuff, and I opened it up, and lo and behold, these Thomas the Tank Engine toys are still in there. So I've got these like retro Thomas the Tank Engine figures. I'm just trying to figure out where to put them because they don't really scale very well with my my figures.
My mum still has all my Thomas Tanks from when I was a kid, and they are rusty as hell by now. They are like
really
more or less just plain silver at this point. They have like no paint left on them.
Talking
if
about
you've got a 1/6 Ant-Man, you could put the Thomas with the Ant-Man, couldn't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Good shout.
But,
I saw a post about Hot Wheels and about how they've changed over the years. And I'm really surprised how they've like gone down, because like my kids love Hot Wheels and I love playing with Hot Wheels with them still, but I didn't realize how different they were to the Hot Wheels I had as a kid. But
I'm sure I saw a Hot Wheels Optimus Prime anniversary box or something coming out soon. That looked absolutely flaming amazing. So I'll be definitely picking that up.
nice.
yeah, Hasbro and Mattel are working together at the moment on certain lines, so it wouldn't be surprised if that comes out.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, this week I got something that I think you'll both like. I got something from my good friends over at Mad About Horror. They always send me a goodie every now and again, and they've done it again. They've sent me the Gamer Gremlin.
Nice.
Whoa, I can't wait to unbox this. It's the Gamer one, so it's even got the Atari Gremlins game included with the little machine and stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
that is just
cool, mate.
That is very cool. Very
That is
cool.
pretty cool.
They do some cracking figures, man, don't they? They are some really nice detailed figures.
Yeah, they do some good ones. You had any pickups recently? I think.
Yeah. I've picked up a fair bit of stuff. I've just got my in-art Superman. That was really nice. Very, very sexy.
I've been really tempted by the in-art stuff, but the price
is, I'm still waiting on me Batman. But the in-art Superman's got a really interesting design that I've not seen before, in that the actual body of the figure is a metallic silver, and the blue costume, which is quite translucent, sits on top of it. So it gives it this incredible shimmer. But yeah, that's really nice. I got the Wolverine that you've got behind you there. I've got the Ghost Rider we just mentioned. Got the it's called Flight Officer, but it's Ripley from Aliens 2 1/6 scale. That's just come through.
Nice.
Horrendous head sculpt, but it's all right. I've got Beetlejuice on the way.
Nice.
I went for the sideshow, the original Beetlejuice, not the one off the new film, because I didn't like the new film. And I've got, what else have I got? Thundercats coming. Obviously, it should be coming. Someone in the chat will let us know if I'm right or wrong, either this month or start of next month. But I've got the Super 7 Cat Slayer coming. That ridiculous crowdfunded thing. Oh yeah, got that.
How much did that go out at in the end?
It was a year ago. I paid monthly. I want to say about 800 quid or something.
Jeez.
Something like that. Yeah. But now that I'm getting one, I mean, I predominantly collect 1/6. So now that I know I'm going to be able to get Mondo 1/6 Thundercats, I don't know if I even want the Cats Lane on all the little figures anymore. So I don't know. I'll have to see.
That's kind of how I feel about the HasLab, because I've got the 3 3/4 inch Ecto one that came out for a while. Yeah. And obviously in December they're releasing the 3 3/4 inch lineup. But I kind of don't want them anymore, because I've got like a 6 inch one, and it's kind of like, well, that's a waste. So I might cancel that order, because it's like, why would you bother? Why would you bother? Why would you bother with both? But it just seemed like a really bizarre move on Hasbro's part to kind of do both. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling over the coming months, because you two are both into your grown man's dollies now. As much as you mock me for having my dollies, you know what I mean? You're both into your grown man dollies.
Oh, I've never mocked you for your dollies, mate.
Oh, I'm mock them. Yeah.
Right there.
I've just got a feeling that I might get replaced on the Geek Week, because while Pete's collects all these lovely high end man's dollies, I'm still collecting toilets over it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So,
wow.
I am.
My collection it could not be further than where it started. This could not be any further away.
I got three Hot Toys this week that I was well happy with.
How are you affording? Are you a drug dealer on the side?
Yeah. Mate, shall I tell you what it is? And there'll be a full video coming soon.
No, I know.
Do you see any legends?
Yeah, the legends have gone. They've all been gone. He's been scalping on eBay. 50 quid a pop.
No, I tell you what. This is one of my favourites.
Oh, nice. Is that the Batman Returns?
Batman Returns. You can actually see him. I've got him there next to my Christopher Reeve.
So I don't have a Batman Returns. I've got the original Hot Toy Batman 89. And I've been humming and hawing as to whether I go in for the returns, because it's not that much different. The costume is different.
Yeah.
But is it different enough for us to warrant having two Michael Keaton Batmans?
No, my personal opinion is you have one. You can have one Michael Keaton Batman. I went to the Batman Unmasked experience in
Yeah, I've
London.
done that.
Yeah, went there last weekend with a mate of mine and my 5-year-old. And coming out of it, I was like, I have no Batman representation on my shelf. Batman, especially Keaton's Batman, like 89 onwards, was such a big thing for me as a kid because it was the only real superhero film, apart from Christopher Reeve's Superman, it's the only real superhero film that was taken seriously at the time and was kind of mainstream. So I was like, I kind of have to have that on. Another one I got. I'm trying to move all these boxes.
I'm loving that green Goblin helmet as well. I've not got that one yet.
Cool. It is cool. I finally added.
Oh, you went Venom.
It's the Let It Be Carnage one. So I had that 1/4 scale Iron Man.
Yeah.
That was too big. So I got rid of that and traded it for this, which was cool.
So I've pre-ordered the new release of the Venom, the comic version one.
Well, see, I debated about that and I was kind of like, you know what, do I want, but I really like the Venom films. And I was kind of like, you know what, I know, but I like them for what they are. Like, they're not a good representation of Venom from the comic books, but I don't feel that they're trying to be Venom from the comic books. So I was like, I need that Venom.
Have you seen the latest one?
No, I haven't seen it yet. And
nice.
So bad.
Yeah.
Integrated. So I had to have the integrated suit. So that to me is like a
you've splurged this week, haven't you? You proper splurged. They're by hot toy standards, they're not cheap hot toys, the Venom in particular.
Listen, these aren't all this week. These are it's just a case of, because I'm in my new room, I've been trying to I've got piles of stuff that I haven't opened, that I've been sitting on for ages.
Yeah.
That I just haven't opened. So it looks like I've splurged, but yeah, I've not. I'm not splurged. Bethany Beth said Super 7 should be giving us an update soon. Rumor is next month, I heard.
Thanks, Bethany.
With the cat there, yeah.
And Thomas the Tank said, who remembers the Teletubby Xmas craving? I do, actually. But there we go. Yeah. Right. I'm just surrounded by boxes now. Surrounded by boxes, I don't know what to do.
Did you see? Well, because we got that little teaser from Figure Obscura, the Four Horsemen. They gave us that little teaser. When I said straight away to you, that's the Ghost of Christmas Past. That is a direct quote from Scrooge. So I was like, yeah, okay, it's gonna be Ghost of Christmas Past. Did you see it?
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
I think it's crap. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
That's not on par for them. That's rubbish.
Yeah,
I could get any Emma Frost. I could get any Emma Frost. They stick a cloth cape on it, and I've got the same figure.
Okay.
What does that go for? Sorry, what's the retail on that?
You'd be talking about 55, 60 quid easily, plus shipping. The decent. Don't get me wrong. They're decent figures and they're greatly made, and you'll be able to take bits off it and make other figures. Because I've been building my own figures using these for weeks. I love it, but they've. I don't know. I was expecting more. I really was expecting more from that figure.
What did you have in mind when you saw the tease? What did you visualize?
Well, it's Figure Obscura, and it's based on the literary rather than the movies. So it was always going to be a character of light, because that's what the Ghost of Christmas Past is. Yeah. The thing is, in the book, they don't actually describe what the Ghost of Christmas Past looks like. It's just a bright light to Scrooge. Scrooge doesn't actually see what it is. Yeah. And because that's why he says, "Can you tip your cap?" And they do the whole you would put out my lights so easily, and all that rubbish. So you don't actually see it in the books. So they've kind of just interpreted what it is. They've gone for a female character, which is fine. It looks absolutely great. Many versions have used the female version, but I just don't know. I expected a little bit more of maybe a candelabra or something else, more of to the light element. She's basically got the stick with the lantern on, which has been used for Santa Claus, Krampus, and about 3 others.
I like the design though. I quite liked it. It was like a barefoot kind of robed woman with multiple arms. Like, I quite like the multiple arm aspect. And what I thought was nice as well is that they've done 3 versions of the head, haven't they? So they've done one with like a crown kind of thing. They've done one with like messy hair and whited out eyes, I think, and then like a bold one as well. Yeah, I just when I saw it, I was kind of okay, that's cool, but that is not a line that I would potentially collect. I'm looking forward to seeing what the other ghosts are, though.
I think I'm the same. It's not a line that I collect, and when I saw it, unlike the what's the other one you've got, Sorrel? The Jacob. Is it Jacob?
Oh, the
Marley?
Jacob Marley one. I've got that. Here.
Unlike the Jacob Marley one, it didn't excite us. Do you know what I mean? It didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks great, you know, but this one just kind of was like, oh yeah.
So the best part is I think this is where they're going to go with it. They've already given us the Ghost of Christmas present, because obviously they gave us the Santa Claus in red and green. So if you use the green version, that is literally as he looks in every adaptation going.
Yeah.
So that is just a pure version of it. So I've got a feeling they will just re-release this for that one with a few new accessories. I went ahead and made my own Ghost of Christmas future of yet to come, or whatever you want to call it. I went ahead and made that myself. So I've been trying to want to collect the ghosts. So, I mean, I'm going to try and make my own version of the light of the Ghost of Christmas thingy. I've been trying all week trying to bash something together. So I'm trying.
Okay.
But I'm going to see what I can do.
Well, listen, if you want Emma Frost, I know somebody who's like getting rid of all these legends. So I've got one somewhere.
No, that's what I mean. It was too easy. That was too easy. I mean, this is Figure Obscura we're talking about. They make the Headless Horseman, which looks awesome on my shelf, and I've got the Santa Claus, the Krampus. They make monster figures. They make figures that look grotesque.
Yeah, that was my disappointment with it, was that there wasn't more of a grotesque element to it. Like even something that just looked a little bit like I said, the multiple arms thing was very cool, but to have a head sculpt that made it more grotesque, if that makes sense, just as an option. Bethany Bev, more importantly, has said I may have to cancel SuperSorrell's Xmas gift. That's fine, Beth, but don't cancel mine, because I know that you wouldn't buy for one child and not the other. Like, let's be honest. That's just cool.
But I'll tell you what, because it is Christmas this week, I got to open my first day on my calendar. Num Kinder eggs, lovely.
Nice.
But I got to dig out all my Christmas figures for my dioramas and stuff this week.
Nice.
And I forgot how much I love this guy.
Oh.
I know it's a Fortnite figure, but I forgot how much I love this guy. He's so
cool.
good. He's such a cool thing. But yeah, I've literally, people would kill me if they saw what I'm carrying all these in, by the way, because I'm not one of these people that treats my figures like cotton candy. You know what I mean? I don't treat them like fiberglass, but they are literally in a giant bag right now. So that would horrify many people that I'm carrying Mythic Legions in that bag. But yeah, I'm so excited.
Over your shoulder.
I mean, my dad was laughing at because in my garage I've got loads of drawers that are labeled, and today I got to go to the bottom one that says Christmas accessories and grab my big bag of Christmas tat. Yes.
I always say that I'm going to do a Christmas diorama in the house, and it gets to like halfway through December, and I'm like, I missed it again. I'll do it next year.
We've got like a Lego thing, I think, that we got years ago from an advent calendar that you build up, but I can't be asked. It's too much. Too much.
I did used to do that, actually, tell a lie. I used to have like a big Lego display that I'd put out, had the train on it, and then I bought like loads of white bricks off of Bricklink and built this big cave and everything. And every year I would roll it out and build up on it. But then the kind of OCD element of me kicked in, because then they'd release another Christmas set. And I'd be like, well, how can I incorporate that? And then we were running out of space. And then I was like, oh, sod it. I think I sold it as like a complete set, like just as a big Christmas setup. But yeah, I've got all these Nightmare Before Christmas figures, and I keep saying every year I'm going to put them out and we'll do like a Christmas, and I always forget.
Yeah. I only watched Nightmare Before Christmas this year. I'm late to the party with that.
What? For the first time?
First time.
What did you think?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's a beautiful film. Absolutely beautiful film. And again, another one, like, we didn't need a sequel. We've not had a sequel.
Sorry, did someone say Christmas?
This is amazing. The fact that you have a necklace that close, like lights around your neck, that close at hand.
I'm gutted, right, that I couldn't find the glasses. I also have a pair of glasses that light up and flash as well. I couldn't find them.
That's amazing. I love that he's jingling as he takes it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Have you? Is your daughter old enough to believe in the elf, or is it?
My daughter has never believed in Santa since she was a child. She's never believed at all. She's one of them kids. She's very grounded, my kid. I blame myself. I took her to a lot of Comic Cons and Disneyland, so she gets that it's somebody dressed up in a Santa suit. Because I've got a Santa suit myself. Because I go around the children's hospitals, things like that. I go out to homes and things like that for the elderly. and do, you know, my mum works for ASDA, you see, so she's part of the events team, so I'm always the Santa. So like she's always seen that, so it's kind of like always been there for her that I'm Santa, and like,
Yeah.
See,
So,
I'm
yeah,
so
never-
deluded. I would have grown up just believing that my dad was Santa.
yeah, it's like today she salvaged one of the elves, because obviously you've seen what I do with the elves on the shelves, right? Like last year he got skewered by Chucky. I put one in a blender. I do mad things to him. I've already planned this year, by the way, where I've got Art the Clown and Chucky pulling the elf apart, and I've basically been sat like ripping the elf bit by bit so I can have it so it looks like he's pulling apart. It looks dead gruesome. It's amazing. So yeah, I've been doing that. And my daughter's like, "What are you doing to my elf?" So I'm like, "It's not your elf. I have 10 of them." But she salvaged one from the drawer today, because I've got loads of them. She salvaged one from the drawer today and hid it. And she's like, "You're not touching that elf. That's my elf."
Perfect.
One of them has to survive.
Perfect. That's awesome. That is
Do you
very
do the elf on the shelf? Do your kids believe in that?
No, my kids are too old for that. We missed the whole elf on the shelf kind of craze, because it's a relatively recent thing. Elf on the shelf,
Oh,
really,
it is.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like
It is
2012 or something. I want to say.
Yeah.
Something like that.
My youngest two very much believe in it, but they're 3 and 5, so they've kind of grown up with elves everywhere. But my older two obviously missed that boat. But it's really cool because they're now the ones doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, involved,
They've been on that bit. But yeah, we play around with it, so it's good fun. It is good fun. It's just, it feels weird though, like a new Christmas tradition, like a new thing that I didn't have as a kid, and it's all very commercialized. Like you go into any shop, there's like a million things to buy. That's the worst thing though, trying to explain why all the shops are covered in merchandise for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like a clothes shop for elves.
Because idiots like me are buying mini elf on the shelf.
What earth is that? What's that?
So
There's a band.
it's the world's smallest elf on the shelf from the world's smallest collection. It's a very
I'm really
tiny elf on the
surprised
shelf.
though. Shall I tell you what? I am really surprised there hasn't been a horror movie.
Yeah.
Give them time. Give them time.
How, like, because there's no real copyright with this thing, because they all changed that you get them everywhere, don't you? From like Poundland to John Lewis, like, and they've all got slightly different names. Somebody could do a horror movie without breaching any copyright.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised it hasn't been done. Like, that's the kind of thing that as a kid I would have been like terrified of.
So they would just need to have him slightly in red and green and look a bit like it, and just call it like the shelved elf.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, they'd be golden.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Popeye the Slayer Man trailer now?
Yeah, I'm so
We
excited.
talked about it last week. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones coming out. I can't wait. There's
Well, you see good ones. There are so many coming out, is what we should say.
Yeah, I'm the B movie idiot that goes out and buys them though. I mean, like we've got Mousetrap. I mean, I can't grab them all, but I've got Attack of the Meth Gator, The Wolf Hollow. What's this one at the bottom? Oh, Alice in Terrorland, which was absolutely vile.
Amazing. I used to love a B movie when I was a bit younger, like only like in my 20s, whatever. Like I was obsessed with B movies.
The Haunting of the Queen Mary.
See, that to me isn't that's not B movie enough.
Oh, it is. It's Queen movie, isn't it?
I had a box set of 9 DVDs, and it was Shark 2, Shark 3, Crocodile 2, Crocodile 3, and like Shark 1 had like Casper Van Dien or whatever his name is.
From Starship Troopers.
I mean, these things made like Sharknado look like Hollywood blockbusters. Like they were so bad, they were good. And I watched them to death, like watched them over and over again because they were so bad. And the like kind of theme of them was the same. There would always be like a washed up kind of on the rocks kind of actress like starring in it, and that was the name. There'd be some kind of animal that was the main thing. There was always a sex scene that most of the budget probably went into, and it was always kind of like they overcome it, but then it was left open for a sequel. Like it was the same format every single time. But yeah, I loved it. Oh, Spiders was another one. Spiders 2, Spiders 3.
I love a good spider movie. I do like a good spider. I like a creepy crawly kind of movie.
Did you see the latest one? What was it
Sting.
called? Sting, yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was, it's not going to win any awards. No. And it was, some of the acting was ropey, but I thought it was pretty decent. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, quite enjoyed it.
felt to me very much like if someone had watched Arachnophobia and Aliens and gone,
yeah,
I know what I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
But I really liked what I thought really sold that film for me, and I haven't seen it done before in another kind of horror type film, was the woman at the beginning with like Alzheimer's and the way that she kept. Yeah, have you seen it, Sorrel?
Yes.
Yeah. You know that bit at the beginning where she kept that, and I just thought that was genius. I thought it was really good writing. So I was like, that's exactly why people keep coming in, because she forgets. But yeah, I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I haven't seen any good horror movies recently. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I have for a while, to be honest. They've not been cracking, have they?
No.
Terrifier 3 is the last, I think, one I saw.
I went over the moon with that, though. I thought they weren't as good as the original.
Do you know what? James, my pal over on One Good Scare, objects to this repeatedly. I keep saying that the first Terrifier movie is my favorite.
Yeah,
because it's more grounded. It's not normal, but you know what I mean. It's when we start getting into all this kind of when we get into all this religious stuff and the magic swords and stuff, it's kind of lost us a little bit. I just want a nutcase clown killing people. That's kind of where I want, Yeah.
But the same happened with like Paranormal Activity. Like the first one, maybe two, were quite good, and then obviously it started getting into really bizarre territory with like Paranormal 5 and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, you've lost me now.
I was even on board with like Terrifier 2 for about the first 20-30 minutes, when he's like in the very beginning, when he like sees the girl in his head. He's like playing patty cake with himself, and it's not until you see the other guy's reaction that you realize he's like doing it to himself.
Yeah.
And that sort of fits in with that psycho clown kind of vibe, and I like that.
Yeah.
But they went a bit too far with the whole supernatural crap with it.
I did see Heretic recently. That's pretty good. I enjoyed Heretic. Hugh Grant is just phenomenal in that. Yeah, very, very good.
He's scary in that. He's quite sinister.
Oh yeah.
Because you're so used to seeing him in like Four Weddings and a Funeral and like good old Bridget Jones and all that stuff. Then he comes out in that. He's quite sinister and creepy.
Yeah.
757 Hustle said Joker 2 still gives me night terror. Still haven't seen it.
I didn't mind it.
Singing in the rain.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I've still not seen it. I don't think I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'm going to hate it.
I'm going to get shot. People will start screaming at us. I didn't think Joker 1 was the be all and end all that everybody kind of made it out to be. I thought it was okay, but it didn't kind of absolutely enamor me. And so I think I went into Joker 2 with lower expectations and thought, actually, you know what, this is all right. It's not great. It's not crap. But I think I'm on my own with that. I think a lot of people really hate it.
No, I'm pretty much on par with you there, Pete. The first one I thought was great, but it wasn't the best thing I'd ever seen. I thought, okay, this is an interesting spin and all the rest of it. But I think it's because it also came out at a similar time as the Batman.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, okay, this is cool. We got a new take on Batman. We got a new, and then we had, this is a new take on Joker. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then, so the second one, I'm kind of like, it does what it says on the tin. Like, so,
I don't think you're missing anything if you don't see it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's not like you've got to see it. Have you seen it, Sorrel?
I've seen bits of it online. I've not watched it in the cinema.
I'll tell you what was scary about Joker, though, that McFarlane set and the price. that was definitely freaky. And people are kicking off about that one, aren't they?
Yeah.
757 said Long Legs as well. I haven't seen that. That's the Nicolas Cage one, isn't it?
It's all right.
I was really intrigued by that. Is it not good?
It's good until you uncover the doll bit, and then it gets a bit insane from there.
Again, it goes mental at the end, doesn't it? And I can't get away from the I out now. Anybody that good old fuzzy Dunlop's in the chat. Anybody that watches any of my stuff will know I'm a little bit obsessed with Nick Cage. I love Nick Cage, particularly when he's bonkers, and he's bonkers in this. But I cannot get away from. Did you guys remember Bo Selector?
Yeah.
He's wearing like a weird Bo Selector kind of mask thing, and it's just so off-putting because he just looks stupid, and it was creepy at points, but it jumps by the end when we're into, well, I'm not going to spoil it for people, but it just goes mental, and then it kind of lost us. It's one of these films, and you guys I'm sure I've seen loads of them, a bit like Blair Witch and stuff like that, where you see all the press saying, oh my God, people are vomiting in the cinema, people are running, fleeing from the cinema. Oh, they're shite. Do you know what I mean? It was all right, but it wasn't kind of like people screaming in the theater. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah. I really want to see a film with Nicolas Cage at a full 11 and Jeff Goldblum at a full 11. I just think that would be
I
incredible.
love that.
Oh
Like,
Jesus, no!
and
Yeah.
just something where they, I don't know, some kind of film where they're both playing the same person and they're both convinced that the other one's the real version or so. I don't know, just something that would allow them to go completely, and don't even give them a
Unhinged.
script, just give them a plot. And just like, this is the plot, this is your character's name, these are the sets, just go mad.
Go
Like,
mad with it.
Go mad.
with it.
Let's see. Like, I just, they're two of my favorites just because
Yeah,
they are
mine as well.
so mental. Like, and speaking of Jeff Goldblum, I was really, because I hadn't looked into Wicked that much. Like, it was my wife that was much more about. I knew Ariana Grande was the Galinda. I knew that she was the White Witch and stuff, but yeah, I didn't know anything else about it. And so when Jeff Goldblum come out, I was like, happy days, this is brilliant. Jeff Goldblum as the wizard.
Have you seen the? I think it's finished now. I've got 2 seasons of his documentary show on Disney Channel.
Oh
The
yeah,
World
yeah.
According to Jeff. It's
Jeff
superb.
Goldblum.
It's brilliant.
Absolute,
Yeah.
just brilliant. I just love his enthusiasm about everything. You know, Fuzzy in your chat there is making a really good point about good performance isn't the same as a good film. Joaquin Phoenix was great. The film was lacking though. Yeah, I think he's right. I think sometimes. So if I go back to Gladiator 2, Denzel is phenomenal in that movie because he's Denzel Washington. He's phenomenal in everything, but he's surrounded by, in my humble opinion, just dross. You know, even the guy who's playing the Gladiator for me was wooden as anything.
Really?
Yeah, it just sinks it, unfortunately.
Wow.
See, the Joker, the first one, I think the lead up in the film is boring as crap. But it's that final 20 minutes that is so tense, and like that is such a good performance from both actors. It's just so like believable.
Yeah.
It's such a good man. I think if they just released that as a 30-minute thing and called it the Joker, I'd watch it because it's amazing. But yeah, the rest of it's just a bit. It's like, is it in his head? Is it not? I can't be asked with that shit.
Yeah.
I can't be asked with that.
The thing I can't get my head around is obviously the age of the Waynes and all that kind of stuff, because obviously they didn't need to include that.
Well, if you've seen the second film and the ending, that's why, isn't it?
Oh, I know, because there's somebody else taking over.
Not him, technically, he's not the Joker, technically.
No, but I just thought you didn't need to include that element of it like that. It could have been a good standalone film without including that. And I think that
included the Waynes. If they hadn't have included the Waynes, they could have salvaged that version of the Joker and stuck him in the new Batman movie because he would have fitted in with it being so ground in reality. And imagine him as an older Joker versus a young Batman. That'd be something we've never seen, and that could be really quite sinister and good. Because he would be a bit more of an adversary for Batman then, with him being a bit more mature, and you know what I mean. It would be a very cool like version of it.
Yeah, but I think that's what made the Penguin series so good. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was just no reference to Batman apart from there was obviously reference to what had happened in the film, and at the very end you see the bat signal, but the whole thing was very much about the characters you were watching. And
you know when you watch a film or a TV series and there's like a film within the film. So to me, the Penguin looks like it's like somebody trying to recreate The Sopranos inside of a sitcom. You know what I mean?
Right.
It looks like they have tried to turn him into Tony Soprano and failed, and like put this plastic face on him. It looks so weird.
I must admit though, I preferred his character in the series than I did in the film. I think he made so much. There was so many more layers to him, and you kind of I sort of had that opinion too, but once you kind of get past that and you're like 2 episodes in, and you kind of see where it's going, it's actually a really strong story. But,
the thing is, this is something that's going to lead into next week's show for us, but I am properly fatigued out with everything movie based around Marvel and everything. Even the movies and the comics and figures. I'm very much fatigued out with it because there's been so much of it in a short space of time over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm just done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a lifelong geek, so I'm still excited by stuff, and I'm pleasantly surprised by things. So again, people shoot us. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Matt Reeves Batman movie. I thought it was too long and a bit dreary, and I don't know. for whatever reason, it just didn't connect with us. So I wasn't particularly looking forward to the Penguin, but I absolutely loved the Penguin. But I've never seen The Sopranos, so I've got nothing to compare it to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just thought the performances in it was spot on. I really enjoyed it.
See, it's funny you say that though, because again, like, I might get shot for this, but I was never a massive fan of the Nolan trilogy.
No,
Like for me, Batman was campy and fun, and do you know what I mean? It wasn't all of a sudden you've put him in like a tactical suit and he's cool, and I was like, no, this isn't Batman. Like, you know, the Bales, not the Bales, sorry, the Keatons, the Val Kilmers, the George Clooney's, like that was all still Batman enough for me, and so the Bale stuff kind of clashed with me. I enjoyed them, and like, you know, there is no denying like The Dark Knight is one of the best Batman films of all time because of obviously Heath Ledger's performance and stuff. But when the new one came out with Robert Pattinson, for me, I was like, this is actually really cool. It's kind of what I wanted a darker Batman to be, because it seemed so grounded and so, you know, and I actually even liked him as Batman. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Still, I mean, again, I don't think it's controversial. I think lots of people would probably agree, but the best 5 minutes of Batman we've had for the last 10 years or whatever are just that very small warehouse scene in Batman versus Superman, where he takes down the thugs who are holding Martha. That is just, that's what I want. That's the Batman I want. It was like watching the Arkham video game, you know. I just loved that sequence, and it's a bit of a shame, I think, that Batfleck didn't get his own movie. I think he could have done well in that role as an aging Bruce Wayne, you know.
Yeah. I it's funny, a Facebook memory popped up of mine, and it was like when Ben Affleck was first announced as Batman, and I'd basically put a status going like, mark my words, he will be one of the best Batmans to date. And I still stand by it. I'm the same. I was like, I don't think he was given his proper shot. Like, I mean, none of them hold a torch compared to Lego Batman. Like, he is like, you know, leaps and bounds ahead. But you know, either way,
my favorite thing is what Adam West always said. He never had to say that he was Batman. He just turned up. People knew he was Batman.
Yeah. Very true.
All the modern Batmans have to do the whole "I'm Batman."
Yeah.
Oh, but Keaton does it so well. Have you seen that that YouTube clip of him at one of these big American university kind of keynote speech things, and he talks to them about how they've got to work hard and get good jobs and stuff. And he says at the end, "If I can just leave you with a couple of words to go home with," and he just leans and goes, "I'm Batman." And the crowd just goes friggin' mental. That's it. You know, he's just, I love Keaton. He's superb.
Yeah. He was the main reason I liked the Flash movie. Like seeing him back. I didn't know. The reason I liked it was to see Keaton's Batman again and to have more. It wasn't great, but the fact that we got to see him, there's a lot wrong with that movie.
See, I think that movie upsets us more because it killed Keaton as Batman. I think there's such a negativity about it, because for me, Keaton should be coming back and playing Bruce Wayne as a Batman Beyond movie. You know, have him in the cage, not in the cape. Terry McGinnis.
I've been saying for years, if they did a Keaton Batman movie about an aging Batman, bring back Chris O'Dowd, is he called? Bring him back as Nightwing now. It could be Nightwing now, which would be awesome. And then bring back all the old villains, because they'd all come back. Bring back all the ones you can. Bring back, bring back, Jim Carrey and Two-Face and even Mr. Freeze, a bit of Arnie. And because they're all older, it'll all look right, and have them as the aging versions of those characters. Like, imagine Danny DeVito now as Penguin. As an aging Penguin.
Have you seen that video of Danny DeVito where he talks about Batman and he's like, "There's only one Batman." This is my Batman. I just thought, yes,
that was superb at the Oscars last year, wasn't it? Where was it DeVito and Schwarzenegger were presenting something, and they look down at the audience, and there's Keaton, and he does the kind. Loved it.
Yeah, it was good. But obviously, we were going to talk comic books this week review. All right, let's talk. Have you got anything new?
I haven't got anything to hand, but I've got lots of new stuff. I've been to Thought Bubble Comic Convention last week and picked up a lot of stuff there.
Nice.
I'm moving into a kind of a sketch area now where I like to pick up a lot of sketch covers and things like that. I'm into the Absolute run at the moment. I'm enjoying Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. It's a very different take on it. Very different take. This is what I'm reading at the moment. This is volume 3. You guys probably won't notice this, but I'm very old. So I do like books that are a larger print and larger format. So this is my preferred reading style, big hardback books that have got nice big pictures and writing for us. But this is Deadly Class Volume 4. Don't know if you guys have read any of Deadly Class.
I said Deadly Class.
Absolutely amazing by Rick Remender. Basically, it's about this guy who's on the streets, and he's taken to this underground city where they train people to be assassins. And there's some good twists in it, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But basically, it's like Hogwarts for assassins, basically. So you're trained to be assassins, and you're sent out in the world. And it just follows them through the different classes, the different years of school. And it's just amazing. There's some brilliant twists in it. But yeah, I've just getting a load of books back from CGC. I'm into my signed books at the moment. Still quite enjoying a lot of indie stuff, horror stuff. Marvel is still putting out some good books. I'm enjoying some of the Marvel stuff at the moment as well. I read a lot. I do read a lot. I'm a little bit obsessed with a guy called Mark Spears at the moment. I don't know if you guys have seen any of his work on monsters.
Yeah. Hang on.
Just absolutely phenomenal. His artwork. I mean, Sorrell, you'd like his artwork. It is incredible. I've just realized, I'm just doing some Googling tonight. He's done a line of cards all based on the Wizard of Oz, which are just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed with him at the moment. I'm trying to pick up some of his bits and bobs.
Well, I've got a recommendation for you because I know we spoke about that Monsters last time. I think it was on your show. We spoke about Monsters, and I found a new one which I think you'll like because I know you like your indie horror as well.
Yeah.
There's this book called The Midnight Show. Have you seen
it? Yeah.
Wow, so a great little read.
I haven't read that one yet, but I mentioned that on a show I did a little while ago about. Is it by? It's not by the guy who. What do you call him? Stein? Is it?
No, Cullen Bunn, Brian.
Cullen Bunn.
Bill Crabtree, and Jim Campbell.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is because like as soon as I saw it, and someone recommended it to me and said it's Universal Monsters meets Last Action Hero. Yeah. That is literally what it is, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick that one up. I'm still banging to my Sink by John Lees and Alex Cormack. That's a horror anthology based in Scotland, which I'm absolutely loving. And Ice Cream Man. Don't know if you read Ice Cream Man. That's a really cool series. Really enjoy that as well.
Well, the thing is, I've tried to stop picking up as many singles because they're costing me a fortune, and there's that many books these days. So I've been waiting for a lot of them to come on to hardback print now.
Yeah.
I've been buying more of the, like you said, as you say, as you're getting older and stuff as well. I can't be visiting the comic book store weekly anymore. Yeah. I ain't got time. So yeah, I'm trying to pick more up in the print format. But yeah, my comic books are all monster based and all that good stuff.
I'm still here.
Bethany
Beth said, "Put a coin in the meter, Jacob." I've just turned my camera off because I'm just collecting some comic books from around my room.
Should I quickly jump away and grab some stuff to show you?
Yeah, go for it. That's what I'm doing right now.
I'll just
We're all doing the same thing.
I'm back. I literally just ran around and just grabbed a load of comic books. I was like, we're having a comic book episode, and I haven't got any comic books at hand, so I went and grabbed some.
Do you know what? I'm going to show off these as well because I love these so much. You'll see exactly what my comic book tastes are in a minute. But do you know what though? I had to pick this up the other day because I really enjoyed reading this when it first came out.
Yeah.
The Hallows Eve.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I've been loving that. That's an awesome story. She's a really cool character. She's not been around very long either for Marvel, has she?
No, she's relatively new with the masks and stuff.
Yeah. So she like puts on the mask and gains the power of whoever she, wears basically.
Yeah. It's really stressing me out because I've got some other stuff somewhere and I don't know where I put it.
But yeah, I tell you what I found. Well, I think I showed that off the way. I showed that for the week. Yeah, I did. But I mean, I like things like Sabrina. But it's not Sabrina is nothing like the Melissa Joan Hart version. The original Sabrina books are amazing. They're quite dark and serious.
Oh, hang on. I think it might be over here.
I didn't realize Marvel made this as well. I'll show this off in a second. Because yeah, I picked up a book for Christmas, and I didn't realize Marvel even made that book. So we'll talk about that as well. People must be really bored now because we are just literally none of us are even on screen at the moment.
We're just
we're all off screen.
No, we're here. We're here.
There we go.
Right, I've got a pile. I've got a big old pile next to me. So there we go. A big old pile next to me. I can't find my Robbie Reyes though. I picked up Robbie Reyes issue 1 to go with my Night Charger, whatever it's called, Hell Charger. No, it's not Hell Charger, is it? But that's why we're waiting for Pete to come back with his comics. What's really interesting for me is obviously having this car. I'll be able to kind of bookend it and have the XO1 on the other side, and both of them are USB-C compatible. So you put the USB-C in, and you can basically turn it on and off as you like. So yeah, that makes it quite interesting for me. Yeah, I got a handful. I've got a handful to go through. It's quite exciting.
Have you ever read the Batman Noel story?
Nope.
So it's like basically like Scrooge, but Batman. So like, you know, Batman's visited by the ghost and all that stuff, and goes back in time and all that stuff.
Okay.
I've never read it. You know, I saw it on shelf at comic book store, obviously in the Christmas section, and I was tempted to pick it up, but I didn't know if anyone had read it and if it were any good or not.
I've not read that one. No.
But
One of my
these for Christmas the other day, I got the Zombie Christmas Carol by Marvel. Didn't know this even existed.
Yeah.
Didn't know this existed. And obviously Krampus.
nice.
And this is from the people that made the movie as well. So this is by Doherty. What's he called? Michael Doherty. He basically made the film, and he did Sam Trick or Treat and stuff like that.
So I've just backed a Kickstarter where you get the Sam one, but you can get lots of add-ins. So I think I get Krampus with that as well. So quite looking forward to that. I've got the pile of stuff to show off whenever you want.
Hands down, one of the best comic books for me is still Kingdom Come. Like when I go, if anyone says, "Tell me a comic book," that's the one. That's my go-to. And I'm a huge Marvel fan, but my favorite comic book of all time is DC comic book, and that's Kingdom Come. I just can't fault it. Like I cannot fault it. It is.
So people who watch my channel get sick of us whittering on about Kingdom Come because it's my absolute favorite. It's the one I recommend. I get irritated by people who tell us that Superman's boring because I'm a bit of a Superman fan. But if you read Kingdom Come, you see Superman in a different light. You know, he's phenomenal in it. I love Kingdom Come. There's a Kickstarter finished now. Like there's a Kickstarter by Alex Ross for the documentary, but the prices are mental. But that should come out on DVD more not soon, I think.
Wow. But I'm a big fan of Alex Ross. I just think that the beautiful thing about Kingdom Come is just every single panel is a work of art. Yeah. Like every single panel.
Have you if you get the collected edition, so I've got the absolute edition, I think it is. And it was in Wizard World magazine as well. But if you go, he's got a breakdown of each page of all the different guest stars he's kind of slipped in, like the Beatles are in there, and he's got, you know, other famous characters hidden in the panels and stuff. It's really good to go through and try and work out who's who and stuff.
I think I need to. I've got it as a graphic novel. I've had it for 20 odd years, not as a graphic novel, but I'm kind of tempted to pick it up again. That makes sense. Like I don't know, just
get it in the absolute edition format because it's the big page print and it's just it's the artwork deserves to be poured over.
I'll tell you what. While we're talking, while we talk about Alex Ross, I will pick out these ones. Let's have a look. So, see my kind of collecting, because I used to have so many comic books, and I sold lots off. I kept loads. I gave a load away to families that I knew just to get people into comic books and stuff like that. So I'm very much now about the covers, and I buy things for the covers. And there's this really, have you seen these Alex Ross covers?
Alex Ross, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's about 30 of these out, but I've got Thor, Colossus, Wolverine has to be done. Look at that. Tell me that's not stunning. That is. Look at that, Sorrell. Look, you're not even looking, Sorrell. Look at that.
He's
reading the comic. He's reading the comic.
He showed me these the other day.
You didn't see this one.
Did I not?
Spider-Man has to be done. Shang-Chi, Scarlet Witch as well. But they're just beautiful.
So there's a villain set of those as well. I actually sold the full set of those a little while ago. But if you're into just the artwork, there's 2 poster books by Alex Ross where he collects both of them. And inside them, there's a fold-out poster of the entire lineup, because the Heroes one there, I don't know if you know, but the Heroes one is when you go into the Marvel offices in the States, they've got that across the entire wall, and it looks amazing, absolutely
That's
amazing.
what kind of that's what I'd seen the posters and the reprints of the posters and stuff like that, and that's what kind of enticed me, because I was like, you know what, this kind of comic book I can put on display with figures or behind figures, and it works. So that was it. Very quickly, I know you guys like your kind of exclusives and stuff like that. So I went to the Transformers store opening in Battersea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And so what they had there is they had like an exclusive comic book. So, you know, it's first issue. It's the 8th print in there, which I think
So Transformers 1 by Daniel Warren Johnson has gone absolutely insane. I think, like you say, it's up to 8 or 9 printings now for the first issue.
Yeah.
So and that's the one I haven't got.
This is the Battersea. You haven't got this one?
No. Nice.
Have you not?
No. I've got pretty much every friggin' other one, I tell you. You get obsessive, do you know what I mean? You start kind of getting just more and more.
Are you a big fan? Would you like one of these then?
I'll get one at some. I'll try and. Where is it, Battersea? Where's that? That's London.
Battersea in London.
I didn't even know that. I was just down London last week with some mates. I didn't know there was one.
You can buy it. You can pick it up. You can pick it up. They're on the shelf. But yeah, the store literally opened. When did I go down? Tuesday. So I went down to like the press opening on Tuesday and kind of saw it all ahead of thing. This is one of the goodies that they kind of gave away, but they were selling these on the shelf, and obviously I had to buy the blank cover. So so I've got the 2 of them. So that to me was a big one, because I was like, So there we go.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I've actually got that mural as well, like that picture as the big kind of picture in Battersea. Fun fact, at the same time they opened the Peppa Pig store next door, and there's an exclusive Peppa Pig at Battersea book that you can buy. So I've also got that.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm more impressed by a Transformers book, I have to say. But
I have no idea what it looks like or what it reads like, because I've not opened it. But
it's good. It's good. It's the like I say, the current Daniel Warren Johnson run. If you're an 80s Transformers fan, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it. I think some of the guys who watch my channel and stuff like that, some of the guys who aren't as attached to the nostalgia, got bored about 5-6 issues in. But it's still going, it's still keeping my interest. It's 100 times better than anything Michael Bay does. So yeah, I'm loving it.
There we go. I just really like the fact that they incorporated Battersea in and stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. So there we go. So that's my one.
Very cool.
Awesome. One of my favorite runs for Marvel and for the longest time. I love these 2 books. I had to get them in graphic novel form. I had all the singles they're in storage, but you got Deadpool, Dracula's Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Obviously, it involves 2 of my favorite characters of all time, Dracula and Deadpool. But then, of course, that leads straight into Deadpool's wedding as well, because obviously he gets married to Schickler and stuff like that. So very cool pickups and reads for anyone that wants to get into the darker side of Marvel, if you will. I think Dracula's Gauntlet's a great one, because it obviously introduces you to, like, you know, Morbius and all the other sort of monsters characters that are in the universe.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, I really hope Ryan Reynolds goes down this route for a future movie.
Yeah.
If he makes a Marvel monster movie and ties in with Werewolf by Night and stuff, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love that. That would be very, very cool.
But my favorite book of all time, and I had to get the omnibus of this because it's quite hard to get. But one of my favorite books, and you can judge me for the cover if you want. You can judge me. It is a booby book. I'm not gonna lie. My comic book guy always calls them booby books when I get them. But Wonderland.
Yeah, I like them.
Mm-hmm. Anything Zenescope puts out, to be honest, I will read. They do have very suggestive covers and artwork, but they're awesome. But
the stories are great. It's a good run. It's a good run.
Yeah, and do you know what? It took me. I'm a massive fan of the Alice, obviously, and it took me so long to track this down. Let me show you this. It took me so long to track down the figure. Oh no, I've just dropped the figure. It took me so long to. Okay, there we go. Little action figure as well.
Quite a figure.
It's quite suggestive, yeah.
The profile there when you rotate it, was yeah.
I don't think I'd get away. I think if I bought 1/6 scale version of that, I don't think I'd get away with it with my wife.
one scale, yeah. My wife would question it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
As well, I picked up for covers. I have no idea what they are. like I've not read them. I literally picked them up just because I like the covers. Because like
Yeah.
the Spider-Man one, this is like
Like
it's
that.
cut out profile. I don't even know what issue it is. It's number 1 of something.
Yeah.
But it was just a very cool. I just think that's like a cool background.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the Black, White, and Blood Wolverine run, which I have read on and off, but I just like that cover.
Yeah, I love that cover.
So that's a really nice cover. And I actually picked this one up after we spoke.
All right.
We
Yeah.
were talking about how you can put a comic book in the stand for this Wolverine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just straight away I was like, I know exactly what cover I'm going to get. So that was
That's
that one.
very nice. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Sorry, he's
Oops.
there. He's just getting told off for his booby.
His booby figures. Shall I show you a couple of comics? I'll do CGCs in a second. Ugh. So, like I said, been with Thought Bubble recently, and I'm a bit of a sucker now for sketch covers. So, we've got a sketch cover by a guy called Gustavo, who I've had a few covers from. He did as a slide on that Thundercats.
Wow,
So that's a
cool.
pencil sketch. He did that in about an hour.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, so really like that. He did as a He-Man last year, which is just amazing. This is a guy who's doing a book called Uncanny Valley, which is about a kid who basically it's hard to describe. Basically, he discovers that his parents were cartoon characters, so like Yosemite Sam kind of characters. So you get this really interesting mix in the comic of traditional comic art and then Looney Tunes characters appearing. So it's really interesting.
wow.
But he's the artist. But he did as a sketch of a Donatello.
Wow.
So that one's really. I'm going to get these graded because I really like that. And then he did as a Green Lantern. A Green Goblin, which I love. So that one's really cool. Yeah, I really like that one. Mark Spears, that guy I was talking about before, he does some. That's a homage, obviously, to Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
But his artwork is just amazing. Absolutely love him. And my good pal Fuzzy Dunlop sent us that. That's another Mark Spears comic, which is great.
Wow.
And a King Spawn. Now that comic you just showed, Jacob, the Transformers 1, this is the first print, first kind of standard cover, but I've got it remarked by the artist. So that's Transformers 1.
Nice.
Wow.
He's done as a prime. And then a good friend of mine who does Transformers artwork, Livio Ramondelli, did as a sketch of Grimlock, which I really like.
Beautiful.
So that's quite a nice.
I like how you call that a sketch. It's a full-on drawing, isn't it? It's not
insane. It's insane. So when you're going into comics, guys, you get sketch covers like that, and then you get remarks, which are kind of quicker, cheaper remarks. So this is Absolute Superman, and down in the corner there, you see that Superman? That's a remark. So that's painted on the cover.
Wow.
So that was about 50 quid, I think, for that remark. And I got a Batman done as well, which is quite nice.
That's cool.
That's
Quite
cool.
like that. If you're wanting something good to read, got this signed at Thought Bubble. I recommend Avengers Twilight. It's set in the future where the Avengers have all kind of retired and been killed off. And the planet's turned against superheroes. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but a really, really cool story.
Sounds very Kingdom Come-esque.
It's similar to Kingdom Come. Very, very Kingdom Come. Fuzzy's giving a jip. My good friend. He is my good friend, Fuzzy. Now, guys. One of my all-time favorite creators was at Thought Bubble, Simon Furman, who's done a lot of work on Transformers. And he did this. So this is Transformers UK comic, Rodimus Prime. Important issue, this one, because it's the first ever appearance of Death's Head, the bounty hunter. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah,
So I've got him to sign that. But he created some characters called Brute Force.
Yes.
You know what I mean, guys? So I love Brute
I
Force.
remember Brute Force.
Look at that, man. Look at that. A dolphin in an exosuit. Come on. It doesn't get much better than that. Kangaroo on a go-kart type thing. Look at that.
Brute Force was just
Phenomenal.
bonkers, though. It was bonkers. But
Couple of signed books for you guys. Original Flash TV series, John Wesley Shipp. Do you remember that?
yeah,
Loved that series back in the day. So that's signed by John Wesley and a whole host of people that worked on the actual show itself. Spawn number 1, signed by Todd McFarlane.
Nice.
nice.
Again, another nice one. I love this. So again, this is a sketch, by an artist. Thor's my favorite character. So this is by an amazing artist called Casey Parsons. And that's a Thor, God of Thunder. That's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then the final thing, guys, my probably my favorite piece that I've got in the recent months, because we've talked about them already. But I've always wanted, so this is Batman 89, and it's signed by Michael Keaton.
Nice.
So
Wow.
got a Michael Keaton action there. Always wanted a Michael Keaton signature in my collection. So very pleased to have that one. So yeah, that's the Bats.
That is cool.
Stunning.
He's got some groin action going on there as well. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
I'm,
pleased to have
I do want to I think getting into grading, that's my slippery slope next. I think to get some graded books, just because it's about kind of solidifying that thing, you know.
Are you going to go down the key issue route? Didn't you say about a while back? You're still doing that?
I'd like to go down the key issue route, but the thing is that it's difficult to.
I don't know. Pete's managed a few. I've seen if you keep putting tweet on Instagram, it's like he's got one every week.
No, for me, it's more a case of it's iconic ones, Spider-Man #1.
nice.
It's such a beautiful comic cover, and obviously there's the variations of this one where you get the black suit, there's the gold webbed one and stuff like that. So, you know, these are books that I've had or have kind of ruined and stuff, and I'm like, actually, you know, I want to go back and get this. Miles Morales #1, obviously not first appearance, but it's Miles Morales #1 still. So, you know, those kind of things.
Speaking of comics, guys, and I know people go into comic collecting for different reasons. Some people collect like you, Jacob, you know, because they like the artwork, they like the covers, which is great. I'm a bit of a key collector, so I like first appearances. Originally, I wanted to do what you've just described. If I have a Moon Knight action figure, I want a Werewolf by Night 32, first appearance of Moon Knight behind the figure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've kind of done that. More recently, I'm into nostalgia and science stuff for some reason. But some people collect because they think it's an investment for the future as well. So a lot of my comics are what you call, you know, books that theoretically should never lose money. They should always, so first appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of the X-Men, first appearance of Thor, things like that should never really lose money. The reason I'm saying that, because if you are wanting to invest in something that's still relatively affordable, so maybe say 500, 600 quid, but has got legs to go much, much further, I think it's the first appearance of Miles Morales, Ultimate Fallout 4. He's a character. He is, people like me, who are, you know, late 40s, I'm not going to guess your ages, Peter Parker is my Spider-Man, but there's an entire generation now where Miles Morales is Spider-Man. Yep. So I think 20, 30 years time, he is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
Oh, massively.
When he gets live action, massive, you know?
Massively. The first appearance, Miles is what, I mean, my son, one of my sons is called Miles because of Miles Morales. Like, it was like, I couldn't use the name Peter. That's my father-in-law's name. So it was kind of like, you know what, I can't. So Miles for me that's where the name came from. So yeah, so there's a lot of different kind of #1s, and always kind of like, this is a relatively easy one to pick up. It's not very expensive, but it's still a #1. It's still a first issue of Miles Morales, but it's the first appearance that I'm going to be picking up.
Ultimate Fallout 4. Yeah. At one point, when I very first started my YouTube journey, I got a bit obsessed with Miles Morales, and I ended up with 6 copies of Ultimate Fallout 4. And I it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, but it's still on my channel. I sang a song. I did a video called Return of the Miles to the theme tune of Return of the Mac by, do you know, who sang it again?
Mark Morrison.
Isn't it? Mark Morrison, yeah. So I did Return of the Miles. It was horrific. But yeah, I had 6 copies at one point. I think I've got 3 now.
I'd go, what is the value of that now? It's about 500, isn't it?
It has dropped. So it depends if you're buying a raw copy. So the challenge with that book, Ultimate Fallout 4, is that it came polybagged, and the polybags leave a crease on the book. So it has damaged a lot of books. So you can get it in a decent grade for around about £400 to £500 raw. If you're getting it graded for a 9.6, you can probably get it for about 600-700, I think. 9.8, you're looking at thousands, over 1,000. But it has dipped. So we had during COVID, we had a massive value boom on all comics, and it's corrected. The market's corrected now. We'll drop back down, but we will hit again and start rising, I think, for some of those blue chip books. So blue chip book is a book that, in theory, will always be very popular because the character is just so iconic.
One of the ones I have got, and I can't find it, is the first appearance. That is the first Robbie Reyes, issue 1 of Robbie Reyes. Yeah. Because again, it's one of them ones that, you know, like for me, that first appearance and first issue, they're a bit of a, like, obviously first appearance is where the money's at. But the first issue for me is kind of a significant one where it's kind of like this person's got their own, you know, whatever. Couple more that I've got here just to show. I really like these metallic.
Yeah, see, I love a foil. I love a foil. I love a foil comic.
The foiled Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they've re-released these with the turtle crossovers and stuff like that. But for me, you can see them up there. I've got my white Power Ranger, but this is my backdrop. So that's what will be behind him. As you're talking about signatures, I've got 2 signatures to show you. 2 signatures to show you, and I've got them in frames because I'm not fancy like you, and I can't afford to pay for CGC. But one of my favourite comic books of all time.
Nice, love that one.
Issue 43, signed by the man JRJR in 2018 when he came over to MCM. But I love that. It's one of my favourite covers.
Stunning cover. Stunning cover.
Absolutely beautiful cover. But that's one I might think of getting graded at some point, just because obviously with a signature as well.
Cost you about 50 quid to get that graded, in signature authenticated.
Yeah. What was really nice though is that was when he came over and he was at MCM and he was signing for free.
Yeah.
And all he wanted was a donation to charity. And you had some people that turned up with piles of stuff that they were just reselling. But then there were other people that he was genuinely just signing for because he knew there was a thing. And he did a sketch for me on one of his covers. Only a 10-second sketch, but a Batman sketch. But for me, the big one for me was, and this is not an expensive book now by today's standards at all, but it's got a lot of history for me, and that is issue 500 of Spider-Man, and I got it signed at Midtown. So it's at Midtown Comics. I've got my certificate somewhere, but it was all
Campbell.
So all the different people that were involved were at Midtown, and they all signed it, except for JRJR, because he wasn't there. So I took it with me at the same time and got him on it. So
nice.
So managed to get his signatures as well. So there's what I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures on there. So
that's a J. Scott Campbell cover, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Phenomenal artist.
So he was there. I'm sure he was there.
That's his signature at the bottom, I think.
Yeah. This is his. Yeah. But I don't remember who this one is.
The big Quisera, I always get his name wrong. Joe Quisera.
That's it.
He was the editor. Well, he did Daredevil for a long time, but he was the editor-in-chief at the time as well.
What about this one? I'm quizzing you now. Saves me getting the certificate out.
I don't know that one. Not sure of that one.
No. I've got it written down. I've got the signature. I've got the certificate somewhere. But either way, that's one of my
nice. Very nice.
I was over in New York at the time. The issue came out. They had everyone there signing it. It was like a big event at Midtown. And I was just disappointed that JRJR wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then being able to take it with me to MCM and get his signature on it, I felt like I'd kind of completed a level. You know?
Yeah, and the signature thing's changed a bit over the last year, really, because back in the day, CGC would only verify a signature if there was a witness there from their organization watching you get it signed. Now what they do is they use GSA authentication in the States. So you send your book off and you get a black label. So you see the black label on the top here, which basically says that it's been authenticated by GSA. So they don't have to watch you getting signed anymore. So you could send those books off and GSA will authenticate the signatures for you, which is a great, I mean, that's opened up the doors for me because I've got bloody hundreds of signed books. So I've got a few ones I want to send. And
you know what? And it's one of them things that retrospectively I wish I knew was coming, because one of the biggest things that put me off getting signatures was that there was no way of me proving who it was, especially before mobile phones and cameras and all that kind of stuff. Like when I got issue 500 signed. There was nothing proving that I'd been there and I'd got it signed. Like I had the little certificate, which was just printed off at the store. Like it wasn't anything special. But obviously nowadays, with all this kind of being able to authenticate things and stuff, whereas I think if I'd known that was the case, I probably would have got more signed.
See, I've got a Jack Kirby. You guys familiar with Jack Kirby? Big artist from Marvel, well, in DC. I've got a Jack Kirby signed book, signed by Stanley and Jack Kirby, actually. And I'm tempted to send it off, but I'm a little bit worried because have you heard the controversy about Jack's signatures?
No.
You're familiar with Dynamic Forces? Big company back in the day who used to do a lot of signed items, and then they put their own certificate in and stuff like that. They got a load of Jack Kirby's signature books. And the story goes, allegedly, just in case I get sued, allegedly, Jack was too tired and couldn't be asked or whatever. So his wife signed all the books for him. So now there's a lot of people sent those books in to be authenticated, and it's coming back as no, there's not a true signature.
Yeah, I heard that. And that's the difficulty, isn't it? So, but yeah, no, I think I will. We'll have to have a chat off camera, and then I'll figure out where to send them and because there's so many different ways of sending them as well. Because obviously being here in the UK, it is a case of getting them sent off and stuff, and it's like with anything, isn't it? It's finding a reputable source and a reputable.
I was down in London last week or the week before with a pal of mine from the States, Efren, who we do a lot of shows with, from California. So he came over and we stayed in London for a week. And we're just wandering around and just bumbled across CGC offices in London, central London. So I had the big sign on the door. So, of course, being the geeks we are, we just walked in, knocked on the door, went in the lift, and just presented myself to CGC. Said, hello, we're here for a look around. And they were lovely. And they were like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, so great office in London. They don't grade there, but they will take your books off you and send them in. So it's handy to have. It is handy to have. Yeah. All I would recommend, Jacob, is if you are going to get some books graded, and I'll give you some names later on, it's well worth getting them pressed and cleaned first by a professional presser, because that'll help you with your grading on them.
Yeah. All right. No, good shout. Good shout. Yeah. Send me some info. Yeah, just because I think that it's one of them things as well. And there's so many kind of graded comic books available on like marketplaces and eBays and stuff like that. But I think for me, it's more of a kind of I pick this up, I do this, I get it graded, and it's that whole. I wouldn't want to just purchase a graded comic, you know. And I know there are people out there that do it. Have you watched King of Collectables on Netflix?
Yeah,
I think I might have. I'm not sure I've seen.
You got Netflix, right? So go look it up. Series 2 is a lot more geek orientated, but basically it's about an auction house, Golding Collectables, I think it's called. It's an auction house, and they do a lot of trading cards and stuff like that. But in series 2, there's one episode called like Marvelous Collecting or something like that, and they're at a Comic-Con. I think they're at New York Comic-Con, and they're trying to find what is it they're trying to find? Action Comics #1. I'm sure it is.
Oh, bloody hell. That's a cheap book.
Yeah. And he's talking to all these high-end like people and stuff. It's incredible. And just to sort of see the high-end trade and sell of these comic books. Like,
who's got a copy of Action Comics #1?
Who?
Nick Cage. Good old Nick.
Oh, of course he has. Yeah. I thought you were going to say
me. Bloody hell, no. But actually, I have got in with this lot that came back. I didn't bring it to show you. I've got a reprint of Action Comics #1, and I don't normally buy reprints, but I got it because it's signed by Joe Shuster, one of the guys who created Superman. So very hard signature to get. So yeah, pick that one up. But no, Action Comics 1, you're talking obscene amounts of money for that book.
But this is what I found really interesting about this, because it's the level of kind of comic book collecting that I'll never be at. Like, millions and millions of pounds. Like, it's ridiculous amounts. But I was watching it with my wife, and I was like, look, there is value in some of this stuff. Like,
but this is where we got into a little bit of sticky trouble during COVID, because again, I don't think I've ever seen any evidence, but the rumors are that people started stock market type kind of organizations started investing heavily in comic books because they could put big money into comics and it could sit and make money, and it just bumped the prices up. to obscene levels. So some of the books that I want, whereas 3-4 years ago, they were still obscene, but they were within reach. So, for example, not being a bit grotesque, I guess. The most expensive comic I've got is the first appearance of X-Men, which I paid $5,000 for. Now, to me, that is the absolute ceiling. I was shitting myself buying that book. My wife, there was a lot of discussion about buying it and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I would class as, if you really, really wanted it, achievable every 5-10 years or something like that. You could invest in a book like that. And I was wanting first appearance of Hulk, first appearance of Iron Man, those kind of books. Now they're just out of reach. Spider-Man, you're going to be lucky 15-20 grand for a rubbish copy of first appearance of Spider-Man, you know. So a lot of these books are now just totally outpriced for our kind of wallets, I think.
But like you say, they're the kind of thing that, if you've got the money to invest, yes, that, like a stock market, they will go up, they will go down. COVID's a prime example, but they are kind of an investment. They are, if you had
that's what I told my wife,
yeah. But in all fairness, it's like, first appearance X-Men is always going to be the first appearance of X-Men. So it might not be at the highest value when you want to sell it, but it will always hold a high value at some point. And that's what I think is the key with comic book collecting. Same as trading cards.
Funny story about that book. I bought it raw and I drove all the way from Newcastle with my wife to Glastonbury, to buy it from a comic shop in Glastonbury. I was crapping myself because with vintage books, you've got to be so careful that they've not been color touched or there's bits missing and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, got it. I hummed and hawed about how I get it to the States to get it graded, because I wanted it graded. Thought about posting it, and it was going to be like $1,000 to post for the insurance and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh God. And then I was going to Florida. So I thought, I'll ring CGC and see if I can just hand deliver it, take it on the airline, and we don't do hand-ins. I was like, right, okay. So then they put us in touch with somebody in Florida who said, I can authenticate it and send it off for you and stuff like that. I said, great. He goes, if you meet us outside the Walmart. I was like, no, I don't think that sounds too good. So anyway, long shot is I discovered I was going to Star Wars Celebration, and CGC actually had an office at Celebration, so I could hand them the book there. So I took it down. The most expensive thing other than a car I've ever owned. Do you know what I mean? It was like holding it all the way around. Saw this lady at CGC, kind of took it out like a Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of moment, like a golden thing. And she literally took it off and went, yeah, thanks, and just threw it on the floor next to her. And then, honestly, I nearly jumped across the bloody table. She was that used to seeing these kind of things. She just didn't give a shit, basically. I literally thought I emptied my bowels at that point, because that's like my life. But yeah. So they sent it off and I got it back, thank God. But it was scary waiting for it to come back, because if it had come back as kind of color touched or anything like that, it would have halved in value straight away.
What grading did it get?
Do you know, I knew you were going to ask that. I'm thinking, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was a 2.0 or a 2.5.
Oh, okay. So it's still,
it's low grade. Yeah, these books.
Grade,
but
but not a 0.5, which
no.
Yeah. No, I think a 2.5 is like a decent. Like, I would have a 2.5 first appearance X-Men. I wouldn't say no to that. No, that's awesome. No, that's wicked. That is wicked. I'm enjoying coming back into my comic book era.
Next time we do a show, guys, I'll be better prepared. I'll show you some of my sexier books, and I'll show you off some key first appearances and see if you guys can guess who they are, why the keys. Because I've got all the Draculas and Moon Knights and horror ones and things like that.
That's not sexy comic books like your booby ones, Sorrell.
No, not booby ones.
That's not the booby comic books. That'd be cool. Before we do finish, one of my favorite comic book kind of memories, there was a charity shop. It was a Farley Hospice, I think, or a cancer research or something like that. Somebody had clearly gone through a divorce and dumped their partner's comic book collection at this charity shop, because there was 30 long boxes maybe in this charity shop, just appeared overnight, and they're all double bags, 2 books to a bag sort of thing, and they just put a thing up on it just saying, £1 each. Like, and it was literally, and I was there for maybe about 3 hours. I spent about 150 quid, and I was like, I'm having that. I'm having that. There were some serious key issues in there. There were books that I then kind of resold for like 50, 60 quid. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I was like in my element. But yeah, and my favorite as well, I think my favorite kind of resell was I picked up the He-Man versus Superman, the original.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
3 is it 84, something like that. And I picked that up from a pound bin, like in a comic book store. I was like, oh, this is cool cover. I'll have that. And I whacked it on eBay for a £5, I think it was, like 15 years later, and it ended up selling for like 100 quid. And I was like, wow, that's like not too bad.
I thought when you were starting there, I'm trying to Google it. I thought you were going to talk about the divorced Green Goblin. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Oh, this is amazing. I was trying to find a picture of it, but can't find it. So this is someone's it's become famous. Amazing Spider-Man 14, which is the first ever appearance of the Green Goblin. So it's a comic book collector. Must have had this in his collection, and he's separated from his partner, his wife, and the separation hasn't gone well. So she's literally written all over this bloody comic in big black ink, "Screw you, you bastard," and all this kind of stuff, like really bad, horrendous stuff.
Wow.
And it's now become kind of infamous, but it's so infamous that they've recently done a kind of repo of it and released it as a kind of a facsimile copy. It's really, if you can Google it at some point, it's really fun to look at. But it's like, yeah,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
My favorite thing from my childhood was this is really sad now, but I remember seeing Coyote Ugly as a kid. Of course, I didn't ever watch Coyote. A young lad, you watch Coyote Ugly. Early 2000s, and that came on. And obviously, in that film, there's a famous comic book bit where she thinks he's doing something dodgy, but actually he's just buying, Spider-Man 129, first issue of Punisher. And being a big geek that I was like, is that the first? Because I had, this is like before the internet was like as it is now, really, when you think about it. It's back in the day, and it was like I didn't know what the first issue of Punisher was, but obviously you see that and you're like, oh, that's the first issue of Punisher. I remember going out and buying that, but back then you could pick that up secondhand for nout.
Yeah.
Literally pennies. I think I paid about £5 for it at a comic book store. And obviously now it's worth thousands, like at least 3, 4, 5 grand easy. And I remember like that is long gone out of my collection. Like it's one of the books that you've had in the years and owned it, and then it's just vanished to the ether, and you've got no idea where it's gone.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 129. That's what we'll class as a green key book. It's never going to go down in value. It's a beautiful book. Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
On that note, that's about the end of the show this week. Pete, thanks very much for joining us. Anyone that doesn't know, where can they catch you?
So I'm over on Triple G Comics, and that's my channel. Do all kinds of geeky kind of content, comic books, comic unboxings, live show every Tuesday night. Thursday nights, I'm over on the Killer Comic Show on their channel doing, again, comic talk from 9 o'clock onwards. And I have another channel with my good pal James T. Keegan called One Good Scare, which is all about horror. We do a live show every other Friday, but we do movie reviews and all that kind of stuff on that channel.
Amazing. Sorrell, anything you want to add?
No, you do this to me every week, and I've still got nothing to say. You always do this to me at the end of every show. You're like, yeah, Sorrell, anything else to say? You think after 180 shows I'd have something to say, but no.
Well, you were going to say something really obscene and, like, put some question out to everyone.
Oh, no. If you've made it this far in the video, because obviously last week it was very funny seeing my comments being flooded with the Geek Week splitting up. What? People actually commented that, which I thought was amazing. So if you've made it this far in the video, let us know by in the comments. Just put SuperSorrell ripped up a key issue. What? But that is the comment this week, people, and it'll get people watching, I'm sure.
Amazing.
Sorry, can I just add, Jacob, that I will be with Sorrell actually on Tuesday night on our show when we do our monthly toy show, talking all things action figures. You'll have to join me sometime for that one.
I will. Yeah. Let me know.
Good fun.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to come over. Obviously, if you are watching still, thank you very much. If you're watching on Catch Up, make sure you use the hashtag CatchUpCrew. And we do appreciate you. We've got to a handful of the comments, but obviously not managed to
steal my line. You normally throw that between you, just stole that completely.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Hang on. If they're still watching us Catch Up, what is it they've got to say, Sorrell?
Hashtag CatchUpCrew.
There you go. There you go. Yes. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next time. Pete, you're back with us again, I think, in a few weeks. You're joining us for something else at some point, I'm sure. We wrote you in for something. So we'll see you soon, no doubt at all.
Smash him.
Yeah.
Are we?
I'm sure we've got him
Have
for
we?
something.
I've not told him if he is. We need to figure this out.
Well, I thought this was next week, so
We already messed that one up.
Maybe we've said we're going to get you on for something and see if
so.
you're free.
I don't think we've told him yet.
I'm free. I'm sure I'm free. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Until next time, keep it geek.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out.